Today we're going to be tasting Siam, Vilma, Laura number 5, and Jochalos. And I thought I would just give you a look at everything out here and show you how they're growing. I have them in the green stalk planter, and I also have some in a couple of them in a pot that's probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 gallons. And then I have a few that are just planted down in this raised bed. But the ones up here, this one with the ripe tomatoes or the ripening tomatoes is Siam. It's very productive like most of them are. And we tasted a couple of those already, but I've noticed that the taste can vary depending on the growing conditions. So even a couple of months can make a difference sometimes. As you can see, this Laura number 5 is covered with tomatoes. Then we have on this side, we have Jochalos. It's the smallest of the bunch. It only gets to about 8 inches tall, whereas the other ones get to about a foot tall. And Jochalos was the first to ripen, by the way. The others were a little farther behind. And this one is Vilma. Like the others, it's very productive. Grows to about a foot tall. I'll be tasting 4 tomatoes today. The first one here is Siam, then Laura number 5, Vilma, which looks the same as the Siam, that's why I kept the stem on so I could tell the difference, and then Jochalos. As far as ripening, Jochalos ripened first, Siam ripened second, Laura number 5 ripened third, and Vilma ripened number 4. And we still have 2, the Monetka and the Mohammed out there that haven't ripened yet. The Jochalos ripened probably a week and a half or maybe 2 weeks before the Siam started to ripen. And the original, the first ones that started to ripen were probably 2 or 3 times that big, closer to that. But the later tomatoes get smaller and smaller as the plant goes through its life cycle. It's a determinate. So the Jochalos plants are actually starting to wind down, whereas some of these are just starting to ripen. So if you want a tomato that's a lot earlier than the rest of them, so you can get started on tasting tomatoes, Jochalos is a good choice. It's only about 8 inches tall. I'm going to go ahead and start with the Siam and let you know what I think of it, and then we'll work our way down. It's got decent flavor. I wouldn't call it outstanding. It's got that good twang to it. It leans towards the acidic side, but it's still got decent sweetness. For a micro tomato, I would say it tastes pretty good. Now I'm going to try Laura number 5. This is my first one. I don't know if you can notice, but it has gold streaks in it. The plant the tomatoes before they ripen will be light green with darker green stripes, but the darker green changes to a gold. Now we'll see what we think of this one. I would call that one milder than the Siam, and overall I think it has slightly better flavor and slightly better balance than the Siam. If I had to pick one of the 2 to grow from now on, I think I would pick the Laura number 5. It's a good one and it's very productive too. And one thing I should mention is the Siam is a hybrid, whereas all of the rest of the micro tomatoes I'm growing are not. Now let's try the Vilma. this is my first one of these too, so I'm interested to see what it tastes like. Also pretty good flavor. I would call it a little milder like the Laura number 5, but it's still got a little bit of twang to it. I think it has just a hint more acidity than the Laura number 5, probably closer to the Siam. One interesting thing about the Jochalos, I've tasted 2 of these already, so I'm interested to see what it tastes like this time. But the first time I tasted it, it was very dry, the weather-wise, and I might not have watered it as much as I should have, but the first one I tasted kind of had an off taste to it. It wasn't very appealing. I definitely didn't want to try another one right away. But the second one I tasted was after a real heavy rain, and also I added a little fertilizer to the green stalk planter right before the rain, so I'm not sure which one of those might have affected the taste, but the taste was pretty good. So this will be my 3rd time. We've had one time when it didn't taste that great, and one time when it did taste pretty good, which goes to show you that growing conditions can affect the taste of tomatoes. I'm going to throw all of these in my mouth and see what we think this time. I would say it tastes somewhere between the other 2 times that I tasted. Got a little bit of twang to it. It's not a bad taste, but of all the micros that I've tasted so far, I would call it my least favorite. And the skins are very chewy this time. It may have to do with the size of the tomatoes, I'm not sure, but the skins are very chewy. Well, that's a look at the 4 of our 6 micros, and gives you an idea of what I think of the taste. If you've ever tasted or grown any of these types, let us know down in the comments what you think of the taste and how they did for you in your garden. And if you're just now finding this channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.